And we're live! Yay! Good afternoon, everyone. And welcome back to another live stream where we're building the Darwin Evo, which is up there and not down here. Because I've been getting everything ready in the last 5 minutes and not managed to move the printer into position. But it's there. This is what we're building. We'll be carrying on with this today. Yes, that is the plan. Although planning has not been my forte. So I'm not sure where we got to completely. It's been a couple of weeks, hasn't it? Couldn't manage it last week. Can't remember why. But we're here this week, so that's good. Hello, James and Lars. Good to see you. As always. By the way, I'm going to remove the Rocky Mountain RepRap Festival on the 20th and 21st of April. That's right, in like 3 weeks-ish from now. 3 or 4 weeks, something around there. Is nearer 3 weeks, I suppose. So yeah, I'm doing that. I've only just booked it, so it's a bit of a surprise for me as much as it is for you. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So good to see you. If you are going, let me know. Hopefully I'll be able to see you there. Not sure quite what the plan is in terms of like doing any videos or anything. I might try, but I also might not, and treat it more as a holiday. I've not had a holiday in like for years, so we might do that instead. But it'll be lots of fun, and I'll get to talk to lots of people there, so I'm looking forward to that. As I mentioned previously, just so you know, you have to know, well, I have to tell you, is technically sponsored because E3D and LDO have provided parts, and Jo Prusa is paying me to build this machine. So there we go. This is your sponsored content, even though it really doesn't make any difference. Anyway, yes. This is where we have the instructions, which is not really instructions, and I've forgotten to turn on OBS here. So we don't have any instructions as such. We're just following the CAD that I created for this design. Hopefully, ta-da! There we go. So, as you can see, this kind of looks a lot like what we have on the bench back there already. But there's still a few little bits which we need to add. I seem to recall last time, 2 weeks ago, because it takes a long time when you only build something like a few hours a week. I seem to remember we were not having enough screws or something. I don't know, maybe not enough heat set inserts. I think it was the heat set inserts, wasn't it? We didn't quite have enough. Also, we're probably not going to be doing 3 hours today. I have a table tennis match this evening. So that's the thing that I do. Oh, hello, Maker Viking. Good to see you. So yeah, I can't run as late as I normally do. Hopefully, I'll be able to keep an eye on the time because I get very easily distracted. Yes. Right, let's get this down because first we can make a couple of adjustments on what we already have. So, if you remember, we were working on the toolhead board a couple of weeks ago. I couldn't find the little headers and stuff that were supposed to come with the toolhead board. So Big Tree Tech kindly sent me another one. And this one has all of those bits, hopefully in this little baggie. So yes, thank you very much, Big Tree Tech. Very kind of you. Hopefully we've got all those extra little bits in here. We do. Which, I mean, Hopefully, yeah, hopefully that's all the things. Should be. I mean, the downside is, however way I do it, I still end up with one board that I sort of can't use because we don't have enough headers. But, you know, that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. So, I don't know if we want to do this now. I think we should do it now. Just need to find a way to disassemble what we have there. Ugh. Oh, is that like Happy Easter? I assume it is. So, I think there's actually not many connections we've already made with this. We'll probably have to take the front off. Hope everyone's been doing well recently. I'm trying to keep as busy as possible, but yay. It is Easter soon, right? Ooh. These screws can be really frustrating. So I don't think there's any headers on that little bit. I'm quite warm in this. I think the headers were just on the main tool headboard part, and we'll need to work out exactly which ones we need, as that sets all the voltages and stuff. And we don't want to be sending lots of voltage to where we need not very much voltage, etc. Maybe it's easier to leave the toll board attached to here and take out the whole thing. Okay. So yes, this is the little tool headboard. It's the Big Tree Tech. What is it? EB2209RP2040. So a bit of a long name, but yeah, that's the toolbox. Anyway, so we've got to find the instructions, and you need to change the video resolution. The current... I'm streaming in the wrong resolution. Oops. Can I change? I don't think I can change that. How does the stream look? Does it look okay? I mean, nobody's mentioned it was a problem. Looks good. I might just leave it then. Yeah, we'll just leave it. It's just because I've been recording video directly into the computer recently. So that's why the settings are different. And we're going to manage this. Oh, look at that. Hopefully we can guide ourselves to the correct voltage. Here we go. Oh, the downside is this is slightly different documentation, so we've got to be a little bit careful. But we should be able to go by the labeling. So VFan2. Blooming tiny, this lot. Sponsored by Vector 3D. Yes, I've paid myself to promote my own brand. That makes sense. You should just give yourself a bunch of money and then pay tax on it. Yay, capitalism. Hopefully. I mean, these headers are tiny, so if it seems weird that I'm using tweezers, you should give it a go yourself, because trust me, it's flipping tiny. I might go and cheat and check. Fan, ind, GP1, NPN, nstop. I'm going to go cheat. Hang on a second. I'm going to go look at the other one. Oh, dear. It just saves me, like, researching. So we've got to do the one at the top. The one I've already done. So the NPN has to be done. I'm coming back. So the other one we need to do is this one at the top. So for the sake of documentation, there's one up here labeled NPN, and on the fan one, which is here, we do the one labeled on the 24 volt section. The link to the dial is still pointing to the old shop, and don't think it's on the new shop yet. Yes, you told me this last week, didn't you? And I still haven't fixed it. What numpty. You know why? I didn't write it down. I'm still not sure quite what we're going to do with the kit, if it's going to have a kit. I think we had to flash this with some firmware doohickey at some point as well, but we'll worry about that another time, I think. For now, I mean, there's screws and stuff here which we could have used for the build, which would have been handy dandy. Handy dandy. In fact, That might account for a difference in the bomb count, because you can use these. And it comes with the DuPont. But no, oh yeah, the terminals are in here too. Nice. Cool, 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 cool. Well, that wasn't hugely successful, but oh no, cool. We've got pretty much all of it in. Nice. I thought you wore the t-shirts of your sponsors. It just happens to be the only t-shirts I own. Just sponsor t-shirts. They just happen to give me t-shirts. Even people that have not really sponsored. I mean, E3D have technically never sponsored anything. I don't think. I mean, they're responsible because they've given me some parts, which to me doesn't really feel like sponsorship, but according to the correct rules, it's sponsorship. So I have to say it's sponsored. But yeah, just happen to have lots of t-shirts. To be honest, for those 2 jumpers, this is still basically a brand new kit because there's lots of spare jumpers. They presumably assume that you can lose them easily as they're very, very tiny. They give you a few extras. Right. You should put the other one on the bench behind you, then you don't have to keep having excursions to your living room. It's a smart idea. But no. Yeah, I mean, I could. But there's just no space here. I then have to move all the stuff from here out there. And, I don't know. Yeah. It needs to be out there because... No, it doesn't really. Yeah, it could sit in here. I mean, the thing is, I think that I don't really need it because it's due to be shipped soon. And yet it has not been. What are we doing next? I'm all a bit fingers and thumbs. We can kind of do anything, I think. We can do anything. Which inevitably is why I've pretty much done nothing in the first 20 minutes. Let's just grab stuff and start assembling things, because I think most of it can be assembled off the printer. Control board. That's apparently what we're going to do now, because that's what I grabbed out of the box. This comes with the ducky, some instructions, solid cable. Go there. Probably don't need to keep that or this. So we've got the Octopus Max EZ, which is an absolutely huge control board, as you can see. This is actually not sponsored by Petri Tech. I suppose maybe it kind of is because they provided the... I don't know, these rules are silly. But this was bought for the build, rather than they didn't provide this. The one for Ellie is going into a box, but I don't think it will be there in time for Rocky Mountain, unfortunately. Just looking up the instructions for the control board. User manual. Right. Instructions. So we're going to need a bunch of drivers. Let me just grab those as well. Oh, they're just probably randomly scattered through this box, actually. They each come in like a individual tiny little cardboard box. think. Yep. I know. We haven't got cardboard boxes for these ones. These are on this, like, PCB, what's it do, these feed tray things. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7. 7. I need one more. Yes. Here we go. So this is features, dimensions, connectors. We're not going to be using any particularly fancy drivers. We're all TMC 2209. Now I forget which way these go in, but I think it's designed so that you can't get it wrong, right? That way is not going to go, so it's got to be this way. It takes quite a bit of oomph to get it in. And to the next month. I'm not sure that's saving anyone anything. Ugh. I just need the space in my hand now. Well, stepper drivers. Yeah, I think I mentioned they're TMC 2209s, but they call them easy 2209s just because they're on this little PCB thing. It stops. Well, it has a few advantages, I think. I don't know what I'm sure they publish specific sales, marketing, whatever doodads, specific promotional stuff. This one looks like it's been over tightened. Oh no, they're all kind of like that, I suppose. They stop you putting them in the wrong way around, because the normal drivers you can just rotate at 180 degrees and put them in the wrong way. They should provide better cooling because they have this aluminium shroud all the way around. You can't break the legs off because it's this kind of more integrated bit, because it's all just sort of part of a PCB. And I think they might be a bit cheaper to manufacture, although I have no information to really support that theory. I also recall that one of these ends up going here, or there's a gap here. I need to check the other printer. If you rotate the normal ones 180, some pins will be hanging around in the air. So I guess you should see that something is... Yeah, that's true. But I don't think all stepper drivers have those downward facing pins. They certainly have not all done in the past. And some people are just less observant. But the fact is you can put them in the wrong way around, even if it looks like it's obvious that they're the wrong way around. They also color code them on the bottom. They normally have red and black, and they match up to the ones on the driver. But again, if you have drivers from different places, they don't necessarily match up the same. So we've got motor 1, 2, 3, motor 3A and 3B, 3, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we have to make sure that the ones that have the firmware configured, because I don't want to reconfigure the whole firmware, you see. So if I put them in the right place, then they should all just work straight away. I'll check in a minute, but we'll do a little bit more else stuff first. So we're going to have some other headers. I should just go take a picture of the other board, shouldn't I? I'll do that. I think at this point it would actually be very wise to bring this printer in the other room. Do I have space? Shall I just carry it through now? We'll find space when we get the other end. That way I can check it as many times as I need. Can I get it into the other room without breaking anything? That's the question. Here we go. Going on a trip into the other room. This barely fits through the door. And it's pretty heavy. Pretty heavy. It weighs 20 kilos. Right. It's still not ideal because it's on the floor. So I will have to move it back later. But I know. My thoughts were completely incorrect. I must have tried an alternative at some point and then didn't need to. So we just put these all the way down the one side. There we go. Lovely, lovely. Now let's check. God, that's made me out of breath. I'm just carrying that thing. Bloomin' heavy. Powering via USB, da 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 da. Stiffer motor. Your SPI. Set the firmware. When using sensorless homing, which I will be doing, place jumpers according to the diagram below. There is no need to cut the diag pin off when not being used. So only motors 1 to 6. So we don't need high voltage because we don't have a second power supply for higher voltage. We're just using 24 volts, which is the main voltage that we're using. But we are using sensorless homing, so we've got to find that pin and get that pin on for all the ones which we're doing sensorless homing on. I've put those on 3, 4, 5, I think. So 3. Four and 5. There we go. So we do have to do, it's not high voltage, so there's two sides, right? You do it on the VBB or the HV. So we need to put the VBB side on all of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. I'm going to put them all on, even though I know they're not being used, because that way, if this board ends up getting used for something else down the line, at least the headers are on the board and I don't have to go searching for more. Lovely jubbly. A voltage selection for fans. And then thermistors as well. I think now I will take a picture because this will be checking a few times, if not. So, where are we? So, starting from bottom left corner with the, what's it reading the right way? What line is that? Okay, so it's this bit here. Okay, V in, yes. So the first one is 24 volts, V in. The second one is also 24 volts. Fan 2 and fan 3 are not used. Fan 4, 5 and 6 are not used. And we also don't need the extra pins for thermistors because we're not using come on, brain. We're not using the PT1000. So I think that's it for pin headers. Yeah, then we're on to just standard wiring. Lovely jubbly. Yep. Okay, cool. So that board is pretty much set up now. Did I mention one thing I did? I think the only thing I'll be doing off stream is I've set up the SD card for running Clipper. It's the same for everything. Use the Raspberry Pi imager, install specific version OS, and then install mainsail OS. That's as much as I've done, and then all the rest of it I'll show you. It just means that we don't have to wait for that on stream, because that can be a bit of a waiting process, right? Hopefully, I've got some bits ready to receive. Yes. Right. So, yes, that goes this way around. Just realised I don't have any of the screws out. I've actually tidied them away. Oh, see, we did the Q1. Oh, that was why I didn't do the live stream last week, wasn't it? Oh, it was my birthday, and I had the Q1 the day before, so it was just stuff all over the table. I spent most of the day reassembling that printer, and then didn't really have the energy left to then do this as well. So where are the screws, and where are the containers for holding the screws? Thank you. Happy birthday for last week. Yes. I'm now even older. Was it the M3x8 screws that we ran out of? No, we've got loads of those. Thank you. So there is a kind of correct way around to mount the control board on this as well. You'll see we've got these like tool arms. Ooh, it's because we've got this that goes on top, which holds a couple of fans, which cools all the drivers. Maybe a little bit excessive. But it's there. If you wanted a DIN rail mount for this board to use in another scenario with the cooling, you could use this design. So that's got the clippy bits. That does the clippies. So this goes on here, obviously to one side here. This is the kind of clip, and it folds up like this, like so. And so this is where the fan goes. So the fan goes with these, and then these goes this side. I've not explained that very well, but hopefully you get the picture. Hello, Spectra. So this is going to here. The fans go on here with the fan hub. I guess we could do all that now. As well. So we've got the fans. I think I cut the fan cables down. I did. That was good of me. Right. So we use a cute little JST fan hub thing. It was a very simple PCB design. This is my own version. I think a few other people make these kinds of things. Just a few JST connectors that all connect together, so you can use it as a hub. So that's what we shall do here. Yes, I was going to get some more heatset inserts for these. I don't know how I've counted them so badly. I thought I was pretty good on the old counting, but apparently not. I shall grab another bag of 100 and count some out. I've got to be, I need to count exactly how many are being used, that's the thing. because now that they're wrong, it's important that I count the extras, if you see what I mean, so we can get it correct on the bill of materials. One, two, three, four. Oh, we need the... Oh, I've not got anything really ready. I'm very unprepared, it turns out. Who'd have thought? Me, eh? Unprepared. Got to plug in me extension wire. Get the heatset insert pressed down. $260, I think we want a bit extra for these, don't we? Oh, you can see the light coming through. So white. That's really warm actually as well. Very temperature resistant, this plastic. There we go. Two extra in there. Two extra in here. If I'd have been smart as well, I'd have mounted this using the actual holes, but instead I have used tape, which has added another part to the bottom, which was a bit silly of me. But again, that comes down to dealing with what I had at the time and the time constraints, etc., for doing a one-off, and how I would design it differently or go back and make improvements for a kit, because it's now non-optimal for a kit. So now we can mount these to here. I think I mounted them with like, yeah. Those ones are quite different. Something like this. How are we doing for time? 44 minutes. Does it seem like I make slow progress? Have I asked? Maybe I've asked that before. Why is that not lining with the holes? What? I have some extra shrinkage or something here. Seems to be okay. I think these fans, for some reason, very slightly different to the other ones. All the part, oh, No. Gonna have struggled screwing that in. Or the part has shrunk. I'm sure I did this. Ooh, maybe this was printed pre-Cali Lantern. Okay, looks like we're going with 2 screws. I just made a note there that they don't fit. It's really strange. Because I'd have expected it to not fit before it doesn't fit now, which is odd. So those are on there. And then we stick this on here. We connect this to here. Though arguably, we could just connect both of these directly to the control board. That would be easier. Seems we don't have many fans in this build. This becomes a little bit unnecessary, but we'll do it anyway. So we have this tape, VHB tape. I'm not sure it's the 3M VHB tape, but maybe it is. We might have to cut off these extra little legs so they don't stick out so much. Now they're nice and flush. This goes over here. Now we can cut the wires. Crimp on some new connectors. Can't remember if I mean, we can just pull the connectors over here. I don't recall if I counted doing this in the bill of materials, so there's probably enough connectors to do it without pulling these off. You'll need the terminals anyway, you can't reuse terminals, but the plastic connector housing you can typically reuse. Did I have to use extra JST connectors last time? I think I might have done, in which case, because that would mean we did run out. So right, we can use the ones that come with the control board, because you get absolutely loads. Oh, we can use the black connectors as well. Very nice. Or we'll use white for this one, because the connectors on here are already white, and then we'll use the black ones when we get to here. That would make more sense. Ah, we don't need to. Come on, thinking brain. That wire that we just threw away, keep one of these and put a connector back on it. Because then we can use this to go back to the control board. We just have to put a thing on the other end, and that's our third wire, and it's half done already. Pro moves. Ooh. Right, I've got to grab some little terminals off of here. If we can find the end. Wrapped up in this bundle of schmoo. Okay, I don't know how they've done that. Can't find the end, but I found the inside end, so we'll just use that. 2, 3, 4. Hopefully I can crimp these reliably. JST normally pretty good at getting right. Pretty good. Nice. I think that will be all right. Now, obviously, important to make sure we get the positive and negative the right way around. Make them the same as the other ones, and then we're safe. Hello, Mr. Bond. This guy. Who is this guy that you two got talk of? Oh, I need 6 JST terminals, don't I? I seem to have miscounted something here. Oh yes, I was going to put that. Oh well, it doesn't matter. Oh, no, it doesn't matchy. Let's put this on here. So these two are white. And the right starting way around. There we go. So now we plug that into here. Bang in, and this one into here. Bang in. See, and now you get this. Hopefully that makes sense. And then we connect any one of these remaining three down to the control board using this extra wire, which we're about to finish. Oh my goodness, I can't talk anymore. Which we're about to finish making. Nailed it. Two more JST. As much as these are really cost efficient, they are kind of annoying. I'd prefer them loose. I made a boo-boo. Okay, I think I rescued it. Yes. There we go. That goes in there. That then connects down to the control board. So we now need some screws to attach this fan doobly onto this other doobly-doo. But I forget what size is, so hopefully this is not falling asleep and we can check. And 3x25. 2M3x20. Oh, I'm getting a delivery. I shall be back in a minute. Shan't be long, I'm sorry. I've not received an email about that one. Oh. This is a new one. Can I pay you here? Yeah. Okay. I need to get the right card.
Oh, that way.
This is the business stuff, right? It's priority stuff. I can try one more. On that side, we do it on the left side. That's all right. Let me just do that. 2, 129, 3. One more, otherwise. Yeah. Three. Cut the card again. Insert it again. Fine. Oh, that's it's not got close, it's just there's no signal. It's just it's not doing anything. Right. Come on again. Yeah, you can take them to time again. There's nothing on it. No, there's nothing on there. All right. I can do it with my personal card as well. Yeah. This one, and then I'll just refund myself. Good number. Yeah. Yay! Well, I'm going to text receipt when email receipt of the actual transaction. That's right, sorry. Yeah, you got that. Yeah, can do that. Actually, paperwork. Three, one. Your copy. Yeah, man. Oh, what a day. What a day. There you go, mate. All right, cheers. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Hello. Sorry about the delay. It was a more involved delivery than I had initially anticipated. Hello, Matty. M4. I feel like I'm starting to run out of... Aha! I found the JST connectors that I no longer need. M3x25, so we need one of those. That does the latch. And then we need two of these M3x20s. Guess who's back? Back again. Adam's back. What's the next bit? Tell a friend? Everyone report to the YouTube live stream. Oh, goodness me. Basically, it was a UPS delivery, so for some super secret delivery. And I had to pay the import charge. And normally it's done like... I get an email and I just do it online and then it's delivered the next day. But no, they had to collect it in person and they didn't tell me in advance. And then they're trying to do this like card machine that doesn't work down here. Out in the country. Oh, what a palaver. But we made it. So these three screws, two are obviously the pivot and then one just latches on this side. So I'm sure you know what a latch is. So it sits there and then you pull that in and just, oh, there you go. Click it into place. This one's a little bit over extruded, I think, and maybe doesn't fit quite so well. The original one works really well. See, that's the kind of the difference between printing stuff once and it works, and printing stuff or designing stuff in a way that will work when you print it 1,000 times. Needs a little bit more trim. Still more trim, really. There we go. I think that'll do. It's a bit easier to open and close, I think, once it's on the printer. You don't want it to open too easily. That's nice and secure. And then you press that in, pull it up, and it's open. Cool beans. And then this wire comes down here. To either of these. And then when you open it, and it's like on the side, it stops it opening all the way. And just sort of lets it open a small amount, which is nice. So that's that Hoojma flip. And you can see how close those fans come to the thing. It looks like when you're assembling it, you've got these huge tall legs, but once it's all assembled, it's quite a dense little block of performance. So, how many people are actually... Oh, I'm going to get the sun in my eyes in a minute. not going to be able to see anything. Oh, YouTube's just sending me hundreds and hundreds of warnings about the resolution being wrong. Oh dear. As long as nobody's getting any like drops or performance issues, we will just keep it. YouTube streaming software is very it's really warm. It's quite nice. Nice warm sun. But it's also a little bit bright. I don't know if we need to do much more with this. Obviously, we've got to wire all the stuff into it, but we shall do that once it's on the printer. Maybe the next one we can do is the screen, since it's right here. And very, very simple. We just need 4 and 3x8 screws, I believe. Aha, but we do have to... I don't really know why they have these, but there's always like these little stickers over the corner mount screw thing, PCB whatever's. Struggling with words today. But yeah, these things down here. I guess it's so stuff doesn't get in them during manufacture. That would make sense, I suppose. Ooh, that's just gone right in there. All right, got it out. Nice. There we go. Weirdly, this one's got 5 mounting holes. I've only used the 4 corner ones. It's a slightly modified mount from the first one because the screen is slightly different. Where you see it has the connectors, like, for some reason, instead of on the edge, they're back here. I have no idea why. Maybe there's a good reason. I'm sure there's a good reason. I don't think they would make adjustments without a good reason. But yes. So this is a slightly new case. Works in just the same way. There are 2 clamps which go on the back here. And those will obviously mount it to the printer, which we could do. It goes right here. So we'll actually do that right now as well, I think. And then we've got everything ready for later. Probably some longer screws for those. Let's find out. M3 by 12. Three by 12. One, 2, 3, 4. So we just put it over the clamp, over the rod rather. So this clamp is actually designed a little bit differently to the others. Sort of, I suppose. Not really. There's more of a gap, and it gives you more adjustability in how tight it is. Because you want it kind of to be able to rotate. So you can adjust it to a different angle if that's what you need. But also it allows you to rotate it all the way around to the back. So it kind of faces safely away from everything if you want to. Just have to get it the right tightness. There we go. So it'll kind of just sit in whatever position you leave it. We'll leave the screen protector on for now as much as we can. That's all good. It's good. It's good. Sorry, my phone's going a bit wild. Hopefully there's nothing too serious going on. What should we do next? The next thing. Is this just it's just bits and bobs. Just take a box, have a look inside, see if we can do something with it. This is the screen for the box. The box for the screen. That's a duck. That's a duck. That's a duck. Oh, comes with some screws. That's pretty handy. They're 2 millimeters shorter than the ones I suggest, but I don't think we need... So it comes with a USB cable and an HDMI cable. You probably could use them, although I think they're a bit short for this specific setup. But if you're using this hardware, the HDMI 7, the Big Tree Tech HDMI 7, the cables, the USB cable stuff I did actually use for like testing initially on the first build, and it worked just fine. So you could use them. You can also actually use this just as an HDMI screen for other things, which I think is quite cool. It's not really only for this one specific purpose or anything. Obviously, this is the intended purpose, but not the only one. Let's try another box. Another Big Tree Tech box. Oh, this is... Oh. Am I really this stupid? I think I really am. Oh, Big Tree Tech, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm gonna go shut the window. I'm such an idiot. Oh. Let's plunge myself into darkness. All that time, me being a little bitch about not finding the connectors, they were here. Or is this the box? Or is this the new one? This is not the new one, because it's not... I'm so confused. No, this is the new one. This is the old one. The stuff was in here the whole time. Ducky. Oh, Big Tree Tech, I'm so sorry. I'm such an idiot. Sometimes I'm an idiot. Sometimes I'm a smart guy. Oh dear. No one's going to believe me. Oh my gosh. Right, okay, I'm not going to use this cable. Let's put those with those. I'm just doing admin now. It's not really the intention. Get rid of boxes. It helps me clear up what we're doing. I don't think we're going to be using that cable. Next thing. Power supply. So I think I mentioned last time about no M4 by 6mm screws. Did I? Missing M8, M5 bed washer, M5 35 screw, M4 PSU screws. More inserts, +6, +4, so I've already added 10. That might be the 4 that I've added here, so I may not need to add those again. I didn't get the extra screws, but thankfully within the week, or within the last 2 weeks, I have done huge amounts of screw sorting. So hopefully now I can find some M4 by 6mm screws without too much of a problem. Whereas before I would have had to dive through boxes and boxes of shit in order to find them. M4 box. Here we go. Here's a tray. It's got all like labels and everything. How exciting! Look at all those labels. M4 by 6. This box here. Bibbidi bobbidi boom. 4 M4 by 6. Yes, winning. So hopefully going to need 3mm hex, I think. Yep. Oh, how have I managed that? Tennis screw sideways. That's ready to put on. Missed. Right, that's that one. Oh, we're taking so many things off the list of things that I don't have as a list. We could do that. I think this is going to be a bit of a gluey operation. I think we might have some first layer problems here too. That might need a reprint. We'll see. We shall see. We shall, she shall on the seashore. Logo. Then we put this in behind it, and that blocks out all the wrong colour. Oh, we do have to glue all the little green teardrops in as well at some point. And this doohickey goes on here. So we could do some gluage just to get this ball rolling. Don't want to use too much glue, but enough. The advantage of using PVA is it will dry clear and it doesn't make stuff all cloudy and weird like superglue does. And it's a bit less brittle, so that's nice. So this just mounts pretty much in here as a sandwich, and that will sit then in the middle. I do want to get these little inside bits put in as well. Hopefully I can do those without making a mess of it. There's the last one. These are done as separate prints for me. If you had a fully featured multicolored printer, then you could do them all together. Got some bit of first layer problem though. What's the time? Probably got half an hour left. That's one bit. Oh, these pieces are teeny tiny. Someone sent me loads of messages. I don't know why. And again, my phone's just constantly buzzing. I need to check it because if it's, I'm pretty sure the table tennis match is at the normal time. Okay, I think we're all right. Yay, Darwin. We don't have a wire set up for this at the moment. Basically, you have to put the wire in there, feed it through the hole in the back, and then you sandwich this on here. And then you have it come out the back. It's very, very easy. The LEDs at the end don't really do anything, it's only the ones in the middle. Well, if you set up the firmware the same as I did. The end ones are kind of blocked off anyway, so. I don't think, oh, I should check before I put it all in. I think my intention was to create this wire manually from nothing. Because you can buy just like a JSTXH 3 wire harness sort of thing, which would work. You could also maybe use a spare motor cable and like take one of the wires off of that. You have options. At the moment we'll just accept that there isn't one, and that will stay as it is until we make further progress. Raspberry Pi. Dun, da, da, dun, da, 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 dun. Ah, yes. I can make the announcement to everyone else here as well, although not many people will see this. So this week, I officially announced that I cancelled the pre-orders of ElectroPie, and it's not going to become a thing in its current form, unfortunately. For a number of reasons. We're talking with another manufacturer to produce a different version, but in its current form it won't exist, which is unfortunate, but it's taken a lot of time and we've not made it as far as we should have done. So unfortunately, yes, unfortunately I have cancelled the pre-orders. Anyone that had a pre-order will already know this. And for anyone that didn't, it probably doesn't really matter that much. But I figured I'd mention it as I have one on this build. I'm going to have to use this one for this and unsolder these extra wires. Yeah, unfortunately, you're just going to get a few of my behind for a little bit. Hello, Benny. Chokery, chokery. Almost complete. It's difficult to say. There's lots of, when you get to this like 90% complete, it's that kind of 80-20 rule, maybe, actually, I guess. You get 80% of the way with 20% of the effort, and now you have to put in the remaining 80% of the effort to only complete the remaining 20%. So I think for a while it will look a lot more complete than it is. I don't think there's anything we need out the pie box. Goodbye, pie. It's really weird how you get different changes to the Raspberry Pi over time. And I don't mean like between 3 and 4. I mean just like there's like multiple versions of the 4. Or there's, I mean, I've had like 3 or 4 different versions of the 3B or something, I think. I don't know if it's because when they're made in different places, they're using slightly different hardware or what, but it certainly changes, that's for sure. Just want to make sure I get this the way around that I had it in the build, because that way I know all the wires and stuff will connect nicely. That goes this way. This goes this way. And then this goes this way. So that goes there. This goes on here. So this is a slightly different pie mount to the others in that it screws in from the bottom, but you have to screw it into this. I don't think, is this updated for this design? Yes, perfect. Right. So that goes on there. Maybe it's not fully updated for this design. Oh no! This expansion header that I've just soldered to has now got huge globs of solder, which doesn't really gel with the mount very well. There we go, that fits better. That then goes on here. Cool, that's good. That then goes on here, and then hopefully, if I'm clever, I've got some M2 screws, or M2.5, to hold all together. M2 pretends. Hopefully this is the ones. We also need a screwdriver for these. Wow, that's tiny. 0.7mm hex. 2mm. That's too big. That's 0.7 again. This is my drawer of just total embarrassment in terms of organisation. It's just a pile of stuff. Unfortunately, it's an efficient way to store things. That's 2 again. 1.5. Ooh, that's snug. 1.5 it is. There we go. There's 3 from the bottom, and then there's another 3 from the top to hold the old sandwich together. That looks like it's going to be too long. I might have made a mistake. Maybe these are the wrong screws. That's not going in straight. Let me check my model. What does this have? Now it says N2x10, so I must have checked that it fits. It just doesn't look like it will. Struggling to even get it in the blooming hole. I think we'll get a little drill bit, a very little drill bit, and try and enlarge the hole a little bit. Got to be really careful though, because we've attached a Raspberry Pi to it now, and we don't want to screw that up, that's for sure. Where's my drill? Oh, it's hidden. There it is. What time are we up to? 1 hour 48. That makes us 20 past 5. Okay. That seems to work. I think the design again was fine. I think it was just where I've had some elephant's foot on the first layer. It's ruined my whole. Don't know how that screw fits in there, but it seems to. How many people we got here today? 21. Right, that's our Raspberry Pi stack ready to go. Don't think we need anything else on there. We just connect this doobly and that doobly. That does that. Did we extend the fan? We did extend the fan. Ooh, maybe we can use that other wire which we threw away earlier. No, it looks like it will be way too short. This one maybe we'll just leave. Where did this lid come from? Strange. What else can we do? These things. So these are what we're going to be using as our terminal doodads for the mains. If you've seen an LDO kit before, you'll be familiar with these. Basically, you connect them up a little bit like this, but you put them on a DIN rail. Now, the DIN rail is obviously in the printer, but we have a 10 bar thing that we need to divide up into smaller bars. So we've got 3 earths, 2 blue, 2 red/brown, and then this end, this divider, and this divider. Let's make sure these are around the right way, although it doesn't matter because we're not installed at the moment. So we need 2 2s really for this. So ideally you can get these in shorter length, but not as easy as one would hope. Some glasses and some pliers. So we're going to just try and pull 2. That gets us 2 off of that, and we'll take 2 off the other end. We've got 3. And that's why I'm wearing safety glasses. I don't think we need. We'll use some clippers to chop that a bit more flush. You can find some chunky clip it. Ooh. I'm not sure these will work. No. Tin snips. We'll use those for something else though. What we need is for it to basically fit in here. If it doesn't fit, then we have to make it smaller. It ain't beautiful, but I think it'll work. Hopefully I've not wrecked my pliers doing that. No, they seem to be fine. I kind of want it a bit shorter. It's now too small to clip, so we shall simply try and file it. Ow. No, it doesn't fire very easily either. I think it'll be alright as it is. So, getting these on. Oh, boo 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 boo. We can actually just assemble these off the printer. So these are bus bars. These go down into here, and then we screw them in with screws. Let's put it the other way. There's space then. Nice. We've got to have a flathead driver though. So those two separate parts. Oh, that's not gone very well. Maybe we'll do it on the printer. Keep them a bit loose until they're on the printer. One at a time. Yep. Right. If we can find some space, we can get these installed. Actually, we should get one more thing first, the SSR, because that takes up some space. Specifically space on this rail where space is quite limited. There's enough. You just got to make sure you leave room for things. We again seem to be missing M4 screws. Did I not put any on the bomb? Let's see. No, we don't need that bag now, I don't think. I think sometimes these SSR brackets come with M4 screws, which is why maybe I didn't put them on the bill of materials. But it appears that on this occasion, the number included is 0. So I'm going to add those to the bomb list as well. So I'll grab another 2 M4x6 from here. That should be long enough. Or maybe M4x10 actually. No, that is good. There's going there, and then we only need 2.5 hex to hold that down. Yep. Cool. Try and make whatever space we can. Turn this printer around a bit. Ooh, that's heavy. So we're doing it on this DIN rail on the inside here by the power supply. The power supply is already pushed pretty much all the way to the end. Got a couple of millimeters wiggle room there. And then the SSR goes on the other end. Left side facing the back. Load this side. Clip that on there. That's a nice secure mount, the SSR. So that again can come quite close to the end. And then we get that space in the middle to put this lot on. So I think my rail is a little bit longer. I don't know. No, maybe not. Need some space for the wiring here. So which way around have I done this before? You just kind of clip these on. Quite easy, really. So that. But you will probably need a doohickey to loosen these things off, because that's how they are. So for the green ones, you have to tighten them into place. The yellow-green, rather, the combination ones. Because they're earth, they're not obviously transmitting power. They're there as a safety measure. And they're connected directly to the DIN rail. So this screw clamps their feet up against the rail to make a secure connection, which is why, again, you don't need the bus bar across the top. Oh, look at that, just in the right place. So that wire that we did under there with the nuts connected to the rail, that's one of our earth locations. Why is that not gone on? That's not connected properly, that one. No, that's still not correct. That's better there now. Yeah. The plastic bit is a bit wobbly, but the metal bit underneath, I think, is locked in place. It's just the metal housing moves on, yeah, the plastic. It's like the metal housing is like here and the plastic bit just moves, but the metal bit is not fully joined to it. And then next I've put in this with this. So this is a just a cover, so you don't want the kind of open terminals connected to anything else. You put a cover on the end one if you're able. I'm finding it difficult at the moment, but it's actually not. I'm just making it look a lot more difficult than it is. And then we stick that in here. Lovely jubbly. And then we do the same with the blue ones. Lovely jubbly. And then we got this to go on the other end. And that just is the end block to make sure everything is secure. Stops any chance of sliding, keeps everything in place. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Good job. We actually don't need these now either, so these can go. This chunky boy sits on the back like that. This chunky boy sits up here like that. Let's get this comes pretty much all the way to the end. We've got to put the CAN bus doobly-doo in here. Don't know where the dickens that is. So we've got the mount here. These are the Wago Watsits. We need that for this. Oh, we're at 2 hours 10 minutes. I should probably stop. Yes, otherwise I'm going to run out of time. Sorry. We'll have to do this next time. That's frustrating. Just as I felt like we were getting going. Well, at least we've mounted all the things that I kind of did through the, I was going to say show then. Through the show, the things that I've created during the show have been fully imagined. Yeah. We've got the fans mounted, the control board mounted, the Pi, power supply, and all the mains stuff. So that stuff's down there, all kind of ready for wiring. We've got to still do the power supply, lighting. There's still lots to do. But I'm pretty happy with the progress we made. Sorry, it's not quite as long a live stream as we'd like. As I say every week, I'll try and do more than one, but before this time next week. But you know how it is. Things just come up, don't they? Like, for example, the one problem I've had this week is I tried to import a thing. I've purchased some things, and they are being imported at a value of approximately like 400-ish US dollars. Not a huge amount, but enough. That faces import tax, which is absolutely normal and absolutely right that I pay it. Absolutely no problems. At approximately 20% of $400. But lovely FedEx have decided to try and charge me a total of something like £420 because they've added some ridiculous special service fee, which has not been requested or required or anything. So I'm just constantly arguing with them of, you can't charge me this because you didn't ask me. It's not required. It's not needed. You can't add a £200 charge to something just because you fancy it. Anyway, these are some of the things that are quite annoying and I have to deal with in the middle of the week, which is why extra things don't get done. But anyway, thank you all very much for joining in. Hopefully you're enjoying the progress, even though maybe it is a little bit slower than you might like. We are getting there. It will be finished. Not today, obviously. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. I have to keep telling myself that. Yeah, I will try and do one, I promise, before next week. It's obviously like Easter holiday weekend and everything, so we get loads of extra days holiday. Although I don't really... I mean, I work for myself anyway, so I don't really get given holiday days and all that jazz, but you know what it is. I'll try and do one if I can squeeze it in. If not, I'll see you next Thursday, as always. Thanks very much, everyone. Don't forget to check out the links. Thanks to LDO, E3D, and Jo Prusa for helping me with this build. And yeah, check out vector3d.shop. We've got lots of cool stuff. VLMP is currently out of stock. So you can't buy that at the moment. But you can buy Cali Lantern, cauliflower, and all sorts of stuff like that. So if you want to buy things, and there's lovely discounts on LEDs too. Just so you know. Just so you know. Just so you know. Anyway, thanks very much, everyone. I shall see you next time. Goodbye.